Welcome back, YouTube. This is your NuGGet. So today I am going to show you the build that you cannot turn down. It is the best build for gathering materials, high tier material, like your in the swamp, in the cursed swamp. You're gonna have your ancient scrap. You're gonna have your crocodile hide, your tail, your arboreum, and then also for getting yourself rich in gold and silver, because we all know that the plague trial they drop like stuff like the ancient incest burner, which, sorry, I can't say that right, which sells for one gold. I call them gold, but they're called green now, right? So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So the first thing we are going to do is you're going to need the food, but don't worry, because the food that you're going to need is going to be the very basic food in the beginning of the game, which is going to be your boiled crab. Now the crabs are going to be very easy to get, because at the starter location where you are, or anywhere else into the world, you are going to go down to the beach and you're going to get yourself the mini crabs during the day, and at night it's going to be the big crabs. Okay, they're going to be a little bit harder to kill if you are in lower level, but they're very easy to get. So once you get the boiled crab, what it's going to do is going to help increase your maximum health. Okay, so with that being said, let me just move the game a little bit to the right here so you guys can see a little bit better. There you go, right in the middle. Perfect. Okay, so that is going to be the main food that you're going to need for the beginning. Okay, now for your build, okay, you can just I'm not going to go through all the materials because we're going to be here till midnight. Okay, so for the materials, for the gear, sorry, what you're going to start off with, the one you are going to need, the most important one, is you're going to be your one shot pretty much anything in the game except for bosses. Remember, this build is not a boss build. Is strictly to go anywhere into the world and be able to one-shot everything and be able to gather all of it. Okay, with that being said, you could shot everything, but you might have to dodge like wolves and stuff like that, but you could pretty much shot them if your aim is good. My aim is not good at all, so sometimes I have to use 2 bullets. Okay, and also the bullets is going to come to an effect. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. So going back to the musket, what you're going to need the reliable musket. The reason why, because it reloads a lot faster. It's a 2-handed weapon, and anything that you shoot into the head is going to be crit, automatic crit. Okay, so for this build, you do not need any crit at all, as far as not critical chance. 0 critical chance for this build. Critical damage is important. Okay, so get yourself some critical damage, or also some critical some pierce damage. So with that being said, moving on to the build, the Pikesman pants and build is going to be the most important one. The reason why is because when you have 2 of them, you increase your maximum maximum health by 160. So plus your food plus 160, you're going to be in a perfect zone to survive. If you know how to dodge, like I said, once in a while, that's going to be perfect. Okay, now you're also going to have the gloves, obviously, because you want to, and the boots. And for the shirt, I decided to go with the privateer because I like what it looks like. Okay, as long as you have 4 of those, you're golden. And then this one is just strictly for looks, that's why, but that's totally up to you. Now for your second weapon, just in case if you are running out of ammo or anything like that, you get yourself the rapier of 1,000 cut, because of the bleed. Okay, very important with the bleed, because you can actually hit them, run back, reload, do your thing, and then you could still do damage to them. Okay, now one little tip for you guys is for the bullets, I'll get that in a little bit, but you could always build yourself a bench anywhere you go into the world. You could drop it like that, just to show you. Go in there, and then you go down and make yourself the stone bullets. Very easy. Okay, so if you run out of bullets, keep that in mind. You can do that at any time. Now moving on to your the progression, like I'll show you, everything is into precision, and I put 10 points into vitality just for survivability, and endurance, that's your stamina. If you're good at dodging, you will not need much of that. Okay, but if you actually go back to my my character, which is right over here, I actually have a total of 45 precision. Now I need you to understand that there's a soft cap of 20. At 20 and above, your damage is reduced. Okay, compared to between 0 to a 20, there's a difference. You could still scale in damage, but it's going to be a lot less. Okay, just so you guys keep that in mind. The soft spot is going to be 20. That's going to be for anything across the board. Okay, so for talents, moving on to the talents, what we're going to do is going to be pretty straightforward. We are going to use bullseye for the hitting a critical spot. Deals 20% damage, so it's going to be a headshot. It's going to help you with 20% more damage, which is huge. You are going to do quick hand, which improves the reload speed by 25%. And then plus the reliable musket already have the faster reload. So just to show you real quick, I'm just going to put this rock here. If you actually just take it out, aim, shoot, look how fast that goes. Super fast. Unbelievable. So this is why we're using that. And then we are going to go down to the firearm training, increases range damage by 10%, which is great because when you are far away, you can actually pinpoint the head of the enemy and then shoot them, which is great. Like wolves, that's going to be awesome. If you miss the wolf, then you have time to reload and hit him again and kill him. And then we're going to finish off with the sniper focus. So while aiming, you gain a 7% bonus damage for every 2 seconds, and it stacks up to 4. Okay, so what that is when you're aiming, I know it's very hard to see on my screen because on the left side there it says sniper focus. It says 2, 3, 4, and that's your stack. And then when you shoot in the head, it multiplies the damage to a 7%. Okay, so keep that in mind. To help yourself for potions and food in the future, like I said, for the food, the crab would be great for survivability, but when you get to the end game, if you are having a hard time, it'll be nice to get yourself the elixir of concentration, increase the critical chance by 30%, or you can get yourself the increase range damage by 13% also with the elixir of precision. With that being said, I did forget to talk about the rings. Okay, so for the rings, I got 2 rings that I suggest. That's going to be completely up to you. There's not much difference in damage. The first one's going to be the major spear thrower ring, which increase pierce damage by 12%. And then you are going to have the other one, which is the major cutthroat ring, which increases critical damage by 30%. So that's going to be very well with your talents. And then for your necklace, the major necklace of precision, because it gives 15 plus of precision. Okay, that's more damage, of course. Now with that being said, that's going to be your build. It does not matter on the item level for your gear as far as what you are wearing, because it's only on defense. Okay, so at first I would concentrate on leveling up your musket if you can. That would be the best thing because that's more damage, and then you could be able to down things better. But just to show you, my musket is at level 12, and I can down anything in one shot if I'm actually very careful, and I can actually hit the head correctly. Like I said, my aiming's bad. You can actually down one shot them, no problem, but the attack can be a lot more. Okay, with this doesn't matter because only the defense. I get level 10, level 3, level 6, and level 6, and I can still walk around the world anywhere and then gather anything I want with this build. Okay, now if this video helped you guys out, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That will help me and my channel a lot. And then also what's nice about this build, if you have yourself your friend here, your pet truffle, if you don't know how to get him, there's gonna be a video linked on the top right corner of the video here. You can click on that and you can take a look at the guide how to get him, or there's gonna be a link down below in the comments. What's nice is that he is going to be your little tank. Okay, so if there's a lot of enemies coming at you, pop him all out, and then he is going to tank all of them, and then you're gonna be able to shoot them down one by one without dying. Okay, so that's what's nice about Truffle, is that he's gonna help you that way. Okay, so now that we have the talent all in place, and then we have your gear, and then we have everything else, I just want to make sure that I am not forgetting anything. All right, so now moving on to what I need to talk about to you guys is going to be the bullets. Okay, the bullets are gonna be very important. You're gonna have there's 4 types of bullets, but I'm not gonna get to the other ones because they're very expensive. You need some of the arboreum, but I won't get into that because the main ones are going to be your stone bullets, very easy to make, your copper bullets, and then your iron bullets. Now the difference is your stone bullets, the range damage, it decreases by 20%. Your copper bullets is doesn't say anything, it's just a nice ballistic, flies through. And then you're gonna have your iron bullets, which increased the range damage by 10%. Now I've tested these out. Now if you go down to, you start with your stone your stone bullets, and you go down to Plague Trial and the Crocodile. Those are the two that I've tested because those are going to be the end games guys that you're going to try to get. So for your trial, those little dudes there, I crit at 2382. That's the crit I get for them. And like I said, my weapon is not, keep that in mind, it's not at level 15. It's not topped up. And the crocodiles are going to be at 2487. Okay. Now, moving on to the copper to show the difference. The copper, the trial, I ended up striking them at 3146. That was the crit I got on these ones. And the crocodiles, I went from 2487 to 3108. Okay, now that's kind of big of a damage. We're looking almost I think what, almost 600-700 damage more between the stone and the copper. Now if you have a lot of copper, I would recommend you use the copper. And then you also have the iron bullets. Okay, so for the iron bullets with the copper, we went from 3146 to 3646. So you're looking at an extra 500 damage or more from the copper. And then with the crocodiles, I went from 3108 to 3419. Okay, so that's gonna be a 300-400 difference. Now you need to consider and keep in mind that the resources between the iron and the copper is going to be a huge thing. So if you have lots of both, or whichever one you want to spare, fly right ladder, you could use your iron bullets, but I like the stone. I think the stone, I could get away with the stone no problem. Sometimes I do need to have two bullets to down some of the guys, but also you can also get your copper, because your copper you could get it at your main island. You're gonna have your the cave that you get all your copper also. So that's gonna be the options. Those are gonna be the bullets. So my suggestion, just stick with the stone. They're very easy to get. And then your truffle, which is your board to help you guys out. With that said, that is going to be the build. You can walk anywhere into the world and be able to gather everything and get ready for the next update or the next patch coming up ahead. So if this video helped you guys out, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. If I forgot anything or anything that you want to know about, let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to help you guys out if I can. And meanwhile, there's going to be more videos up here on guys on Windrose. Don't forget to click on those, and I'll see you guys then.